Hi, everybody. Hi. Can you hear me right now? Hello, hello. Do we have sound? I think, yes, we have sound. Oh, thank God. Hello, hello. Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, good, good. I don't know. That was crazy. That was really, really crazy. I just had like a Hey, Sonia, thanks for subscribing. That's awesome. Welcome. Usually there's like we start right at the hour that we start that is advertised, and then I play some music and there's a slideshow and people come in and say hi, um and then I come on, like about 10 minutes after the hour, the appointed hour, because Sonia, thank you so much for subscribing for 2 months. That's so awesome. I appreciate you. But tonight, I set up all the stuff. Naflinster, thank you for subscribing. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Um, but tonight, I tested everything. I worked on my green screen for like, I don't know, a long time to get that going. And then right when I checked sound, I had a problem. Anyway, so I'll fix it. I know the sweater. It's Donna Wilson. Um, and so, Twittering Bird, I'm so glad you're here. This is great. 5Z can hear me. That's good. Hey, Castle Crips, did you get my whisper? I sent a whisper to you through Twitch. You love the sweater? That's good. That's good. I thought I wore it once before, but I don't think I did. We've got a lot of color going on tonight. Ooh, a hype train is close. That's cool. Oh, it's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. And by the way, I do have a different mic going right now. Usually, I don't think I've ever shown you this. This is my microphone. It's so beautiful. It's a Yeti. A Yeti. Hey Myra, thanks for cheering. um, I appreciate it. And yeah, that's on the list to talk about cheers and things. But anyway, this thing is great, but somehow, I don't know. I don't know. It didn't work tonight, probably because of that situation. Anyway, so I was getting crazy feedback and it was wild, and I called Eric and everything was just like, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nope, nope, nope. Wait. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. The sound effects, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. But the mic is a little bit different. So if you're hearing, if it's a little, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. But it might be a little bit different tonight. Tomorrow, I mean, the next day will be fine. Word and Bird Nerd, good evening, good afternoon. Susan Michael, hello, hello. Sue, Quilting Politic, okay, proud, howdy, y'all. Okay, let's see. Kitty Hannah, and Twittering Bird, and So Demented, and Myra, and Tandarelli. I want to say Tandarelli, like Tandarelli, but it's Tandaradelli. Tandara Day. Oh God, it's been a really long day. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. And that's good. Miscellany, Word and Bird Nerd. Okay, good. D Marie. D Marie. Hang on. Look at this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. I'll just put it there. Look at this. D Marie, I got this, and it's a block. Can you see it? Clearly the green screen doesn't like it when I hold it up. So I'm just going to put it on my sweater, which is really kind of like a design wall. It's a little lumpy, if you know what I mean. Anyway, hey, MME Larry. I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. So Dee Marie made this, and I got it in Chicago right before I left for QuiltCon. Hey, Naflinster. Okay, and Sonia subscribed. Naflinster subscribed. That's so awesome. Brendan, hello, hello. And let's see. Let me think. Okay, Castle Crips, check your whispers. The sound is good. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. Okay, Penny Catherine, I'm so glad. Isn't that cute? Isn't the mic cute? Eric got it for me. Hey, NDH. And the sound is good. Okay, good. Excellent. And highlighted messages. I love it. Bit Palumbo and Dee Dee Brew Crew. Yes, the spin strings in Kirikov's Unconventional and Unexpected inspired you. This is great. So, Hani, I did change the schedule. It's on my Quilt Nerd content plan. Whoa! See, now that we're in London, everything is a little bit wild in so many ways. But anyway, Sandy tries. Oh, great, great, great. Did you get home okay? Did you find your way home? So D Marie says, the ads are random. The ads are random when they play. I don't know when they play. Well, I can play them, but I think they play on their own unless I play them. I don't know. Anyway. It's still all getting going. So D Marie says many of you may have watched This Old House. Oh, okay. This old, and then later on, This Old Pyramid, where a group recreates using original methodology with interesting results. When Mary displayed that quilt, we all talked about the size of the blocks and how it was done. Do you all remember that folk art quilt with the black figures, right? The African American figures on that folk art quilt. You know, I can pull it up again. I probably should to show this block. We talked about the size of the blocks and how it was done. She's talking about this, this dime and this log cabin. I was so surprised by the 4 inches. I wanted to construct 2 or 3. That amazing quilt maker made 150 to 200 of them. I'll never forget that quilt. That was amazing. Oh, you got it, Castle Cribs. Sewing Karen. This is great. Faith Quilts. Hello. It's great to see everybody. And yeah, so Hani, I'm worried. This is beautiful, Dee Marie. I mean, I love it. I brought it back to London and it's beautiful. You're very good at this. You're very good at this. Seams pressed open. It's probably what I would do too for something that small. Anyway, I love it. It's fantastic. Myra got the Baby Lock Soprano. Heck yeah. The Soprano is a great machine. Is a great machine. And yeah, Quilty. We used Quilty for all of the or we used Baby Lock machines for all the Quilty shows. That's an amazing company. They're really great. They were really good to us and yeah, you'll be happy. Yeah, Baby Lock's my machine for sure. So still, it's my pleasure, Dee Marie. It's a great block. Hey, Robin's Nest. So yeah, hey Kay, I'm doing some monkeying with the schedule because we're here in London again. I mean, I'm having a day. I'm having a weird day. I'm a little bit down, I have to say, because, well, I mean, Ukraine, I'm thinking about it a lot, and things are kind of weird. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm thinking about that. And Eric and I are beginning the packing up process, and so that's kind of strange. But the reason for us to be here is done now, and so hey Rox, this is great. And Kelly, hello. So, Hani, yes, and one of the mods might be able to help you do the Amazon Prime subscription thing. They may be able to give you a tip. Maybe somebody can whisper to you, or maybe throw in a tip in the chat. Be great. My mods, thank you so much for your help. I don't know how I ever did it without mods. I did for a while, but I don't ever want to do it without you again. And anyway, so we're starting the process of that. Debbie, thanks for subscribing, Debbie. I think that I need to make sure we can see your whole name here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I think you're going to be happy that you joined the Quilt Nerd crew, because I just figured out how I can get my subscriber names and send you a link to the Discord personally. We have a Discord for this show, and it's been great. It's like a I don't know, kind of a clubhouse where we hang out when the show's not on. And I really value it. And Faith Quilts gifted a sub. That's so cool. To Stokieware. What? Stokieware just subscribed through a Prime gift. And we hit a hype train. This is all very overwhelming because yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in my head today. I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be here. It's like what I wanted to do all day. And the only problem with doing it later in the day, because it's 10 o'clock right now, or 10:30, is that I was just kind of twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the time to come and visit you all and be back with you. And I think maybe that was why I was kind of like, I don't know, I took a walk by the river and was thinking Eric's out doing things right now. And so I was kind of, I don't know. I was kind of like, I don't know. I think I wanted to just hang out with you guys. And I felt like I couldn't yet, because if I say I'm going to go on at a certain time, I need to do that. If I come on early, some of the live streamers that I watch, they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm early," whatever. And I think that's probably okay. But yeah, I mean, the schedule's, it's hard enough. And so I want to be consistent. Kelly, thank you for the cheer. And anyway, so I will get you the Discord link after the show to Cheryl and Stokey. I think that was, Stokey Wear. And I do want to thank the following new subscribers, because while I was at QuiltCon, there were a lot of new subscribers, and I want to give you a shout out. And I've sent you all a little whisper here on Twitch, which is basically the Twitch DM feature. I sent you a welcome thing with a link to the Discord. So you should have that in your little Twitch inbox. Deborah Plant, 78, Bonnie Village Quilt Works, Iowa Randall. I know you, Randall. I hope you're here. Just So Jane, Castle Crips. Castle Crips is here. Becky Seeley, L. Reader, Andy Quilts, Ballard Quilting Burrow, and QB Terra. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you all, and you all have a little whisper in your Twitch thing that gives you a link to the Discord. So I appreciate you a lot, and all the subscribers who renewed, and everybody. I just love this so much, and I appreciate you and your support. So QuiltCon happened, and it was probably Jody Gers doing guild stuff and working on some quilts. Glad to see you. I'm glad to see you too. This is great. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't cut off the whole alert thing. I think I got it. Doing quilt stuff and working on some quilts. Glad to see you, indeed. And I think the takeaways from QuiltCon were it was the best show ever. I was so nervous, because of the drama. The drama. I have crisps. I was so nervous because because of the drama with the video. But I wrote down all my fears, Like if you have anxiety and it's sort of like generalized, a good thing to do, the lights are really bright today. A good thing to do is like to write down exactly what you're afraid of, because I was like, I would wake up in the morning, and this is true for QuiltCon every year, because I work so hard on my lectures and I want everything to be like just perfect. And so you all saw me the week before last or last week. And so I just, it's so much work. But this year, there was this extra thing. So I would wake up in the morning and go, ugh! like that's how I would wake up, like, ugh! Groaning. And so I wrote down the things I was really afraid of, and none of them came to pass. I was worried people would, like yell at me or like in my lecture start, heckling me or something. But I've been heckled on stage before, for one thing. Like I did slam poetry for a long time, so like I've been heckled. So I can take it. But also people are mean on social media, but then they're not in person. Because being mean in person is a lot harder to do. Hey 5Z, thanks for gifting a sub. That's awesome. Earth Girl Now, you just got a subscription to Quilt Nerd because 5Z gave you one. So that's pretty awesome. I thank you, 5Z. I appreciate that. Appreciate you very much. So everything was, nerve-wracking, but nothing came to pass. And let me tell you something. I might be chatty tonight because, we got another hype train. What? I have to write that in my notes. 2 hype trains. You see, I have a notes section on my Quilt Nerd. Oh, come on. What's going on? Quilt Nerd content plan. Okay, sure. I have no idea. I'm going to write down 2 hype trains. I don't think that's ever happened before. 2 hype train night. I didn't even tell you one of the things that happened. Here's why QuiltCon was so good. Here's why it was so good. Oh yeah, and by the way, Jody and anybody who's new, those little welcome baskets in the chat from the mods and from anybody else, those are thanks Word and Bird Nerd. Those are welcome baskets because we're really glad you're here. This community is pretty amazing. And I know because I was the first one here and I've seen everybody come in. And it's really fun. And it's been like over 6 months now. I think we're like in month 7 of this. And some of us met up at QuiltCon. It was amazing. It was amazing. I have some pictures. Dee Dee Brew Crew, can I share that picture at some point? You know, that you sent me? That was really great. So we had a meetup. We have this Discord thing where we chat, kind of a clubhouse. You know, I mentioned that. And I don't know. These are smart, fun quilt nerd people. And I don't know. It's like the most fun thing I've done in a really long time. Fun and like meaningful, you know? So, but the thing that happened at QuiltCon that I haven't even mentioned, well, because I haven't been with you since last week in this proper quilt nerd way, I sat down on the plane to go to, hey, horrid little Spitfire. I'm so glad you're here. This is great. Hey, Ella Riggs and Padma. Padma, you know, I changed the thing and I mean, I think maybe I'm going to have one of my mods, like one of your jobs will be to double check the schedule for me. Like really, like I'm going to make a note of that because I mean, I don't know. I do my best and then it always seems wrong. Get mod to help with schedule. And I have a highlighter and I'm highlighting it. So I sat down on the plane to go to QuiltCon. I was in Chicago and I was going to Phoenix and I actually changed my seat. I had a seat and then I changed it. Hey, thanks, Rox. Just gifted a sub to KMJ5612. T. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. I changed my seat and I sat down. I found my seat and there was a woman there who, we were all wearing masks, you know, and she, you know, her hair and her eyes looked familiar, but I wasn't sure if it was this person, but I said, you know, I said her name and she said, yeah. And I was like, it's Mary, you know, and I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to like trauma dump on you guys, but this person, I mean, I love this person and a friend of ours, a mutual friend, this friend and I, we had a falling out and it was extremely painful. Like one of the most painful things, you know, in my life in like the past 5 years. Terrible. I miss her. And it was just, I just haven't had a falling out with a friend in a really, really long time. And we did. And this gal who was sitting next to me on the plane by chance is like, I mean, I you know, I don't want to like talk about it because it's a personal thing, but you know, like I've spent a lot of time with her too, but because of the nature of the conflict, like, you know, she was friends with my friend and she was friends with her before. And so, I mean, I just hadn't seen this person in years and I really, really like her. And like we just, oh my God. And so we, you know, we hadn't seen each other and I mean, I sat down and it was her and it was me and we, you know, we're human beings. And so we were able to talk and, you know, we didn't like get really deep into it, but it was like so good. I mean, I spent a lot of time with that person in my life and I just hadn't talked to her in so long, you know, and I was just like, I'm sorry, you know, for everything that happened. And she was like, me too, you know, and it's okay. And I was like, how is like our friend? And she was like, she's good. And she had a baby and I've never met the baby. And so that started the whole trip. And I can't believe it. I mean, I know we're like in Chicago and we went to Phoenix, so it's not like that crazy that we would be on the same plane, but there's a lot of planes from Chicago to Phoenix. And I changed my seat and there I was sitting next to her, you know, and it was just like such a gift because I don't know, like I hadn't seen her since that whole thing went down like 3 years ago. And so to connect with her and to just be like, oh yeah, like it's you, like I know you, and like we go way back. And so that was like a whole thing, that was like a whole thing. And breakups are painful. It was awful. And yeah. And so anyway, so that was great. And then the lectures went great. And nobody came up to me and like pushed me in the hallway, knocked my books out of my hands. And then also I had some really good conversations. I got a few like dirty looks, but it's okay. And I talked to a few people, who were just really thoughtful, had really good things to say about the whole quilt clothes thing. And that was awesome. It's all I've ever wanted, was to talk about this thing. And then there was a quilt nerd meetup. I mean, like, we did tequila shots. And I streamed that live, so some of you were there. Small town roots, nothing is by chance. Sometimes I'm like, oh, the world is chaos. But then I think, what do I know? Nothing. Good karma, Kelly, indeed. I hope so. It was meant to happen. That's what I'd like to think. I really would. So, let's see. Hang on. So it was great. The tacos I had on the last day were not everything I wanted them to be, but that's good. Don't tell my husband. They were pretty good. You can't please everybody all the time. It's so true. Hey, Robin's Nest, you're right. Definitely meant to be. So Molly Squared. Are you here? Did you arrive? Anyway. So what else do I have to tell you? The schedule. So, honey, coming back to that. While I'm in London, so we're going to be leaving London. We don't know exactly when, but April is the latest that we'll be here. The reason, like I said, for us to be here has passed, and so, yeah, so we're headed back to the States and packing up things, sort of getting things ready. And so while I'm here, the schedule will be, a little different than usual, because I was in the States for, wow. Okay. So honey, I want to get to that. So, while I'm here, it's like, the UK folks, while I was in the States for 3 months, the UK folks were having, late night shows because I was doing prime time in the States. And so while I'm here in London, I feel like the least I can do is to give folks on this side of the pond some shows. Like I used to do a 5 p.m. show, which was midday for all of you in the States. And it's tough. Part of the reason that being here is hard is it's really this show. Because, I mean, if I do a 3 a.m. show, it's 7 p.m. Central Time. 3 a.m. And I just can't do it. If I was 20, I could totally do it. I'm 42. I don't think I can. 4 a.m. is okay, but I don't know, y'all. So while I'm here, I want to try to, I'll just kind of change up the schedule a little bit. Some of the shows will work for you all. Some of them will be difficult or different. But when I get back to the United States, I feel pretty confident that falling into the schedule that we had before feels right to me. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. shows, one midday show at 11 a.m. So just bear with me. I'm in another country and I'm really hot. Let me just make sure I'm not gonna, what's going on here? Okay. I don't want to do anything. All right. Well, kind of looks like I've got on long hair, but I kind of do. Hey, Mother Nature. Thanks for subscribing. Okay, now my green screen's really mad. So yeah, just bear with me. I will have a mod check the schedule with me as I change it on the Twitch thing, so that we minimize the damage. So Honeybee says, I really think you've made an impact with your comments. Quilt coat makers are starting to talk about their decision making on sourcing their social media in a defensive way. That's interesting. In doing the research for the lecture, because the lecture was a history of the whole thing, not just my opinion, in fact, very little of my opinion. And I learned something. The Bodhi company, Emily Bodie. I pronounced her name wrong in my video. I said Baudet. Oh well. They're doing a whole thing with Microsoft and AI, machine learning. It's really amazing. I mean, I kind of want to like contact them, because what they're doing is they're making a record of all the quilts that they're using, and not just the quilts that they're using, but any provenance that they have for the quilts. And they're making a library of technique. So this is like pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome that maybe this could lead to better documentation in certain capacities. The trouble with it is, I mean, no, there's no trouble with it, but that's a lot of money, and that's Microsoft money, and they're a very successful company, and so they're like probably the only people who could do something like that, the Bodhi company. But it's awesome. And so things are interesting. Things are interesting out there. It's what's interesting too. I told you we'd be chatty tonight. I got great content for you, and the quilt behind me is fantastic. But and I'll tell you about it soon. But the thing that's interesting, about all of this, like already the drama, it's passing. My YouTube video, I don't visit that video. I uploaded some of the Quilt Nerd shows, the replays, to my YouTube channel. Remember, Quilt Nerd Live is always free. You don't have to subscribe to watch this show. You don't have to pay to watch this show. It's always free live. When you subscribe, you get to watch the video replay anytime you want. If you don't subscribe, the video replays will be uploaded to YouTube within a week or so. So I'm catching up on all of that. So you can watch the replays of the show on YouTube. You just wait a little while. But you can always watch this show for free. You do not have to subscribe to watch the show on Twitch. So I was uploading some past issues or some past episodes. And I looked, and there's like 30,000 views on it, which, again, it's not that many. I mean, in YouTube land, it's like nothing. Not that I'm upset. I had no idea what was going to happen. I had no idea. I got a DM several weeks ago from somebody who was like, guess that didn't turn out how like you wanted. And I was like, how did I want it to turn out? I have no idea. But there was like a thing there's like an algorithm or an analytics or something on my channel that shows like views and stuff. And I like glanced at this graph, and it was like this. It was like this. Let's see. The way you're looking at it. Well, anyway. Okay, it was like this. Da 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 da. So like the fracas, it happened, it spiked, things are back to normal, and I feel like it'll I think it's going to age well. I do. I think as we get distance from it, I stand by everything I said in the video. I do. I just stand by it, and I didn't make any copyright infringement. It's all fair use, and I didn't call out anybody by name, and I just stand by everything I said, and I think in time it'll be like more okay with the people who thought they were like so upset. I think it's gonna be aight. And I can sleep at night. Okay. So did somebody have a birthday? What's going on? Hey, Kelly, yeah, wasn't it fun to watch? Oh my God. Okay, in the quilt contours, here's something too, and somebody might ask about this. Oh yeah, so demented. Interesting. Mother Nature, I'm so glad. What a commute. Hey, Stephanie Cake. Woohoo. And let's see. The archives they're creating are awesome. Totally Mother Nature, 1,000%. Yeah. Oh my God. Bodhi has opened a workshop in Manhattan on how to repair vintage and antique textiles. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. You know what? Bodhi, if you're watching, sorry, Ms. Bodhi, call me. I'm serious. I mean, I'm the upstart who was like, meh, 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 I did hear from somebody from a major media outlet. I'm not going to say anything else, because if it doesn't come to pass, like, when I feel dumb. But I got an interesting email. I emailed her back. I haven't heard back, but well, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. Faux show. Let's see. No, Bodhi's like totally awesome. I think she really gets it. In fact, Bodhi, and by the way, if you don't know what this is all about, Emily Bodhi is the person who really brought back the trend in a huge way in like 2016, 2017. The whole quilt clothes thing. I mean, basically everybody who's doing it now, like, took their cue from Bodhi, you know? And so maybe she's like, "Ugh, what have I done?" Lady Lancaster, listen, Lady Lancaster, yes, we're in contact, and she was like, "Can you come to New York?" And I was like, "Oh, but I mean, maybe I can when I'm in the States. My sister Hannah lives in New York. I'd love to." Lady Lancaster, by the way, is one of the people who is a purveyor of these clothes, and she was the one designer who was like super cool with the video. And well, I mean, she probably doesn't like it that much, but she contacted me and was like, very interesting, comments, would love to talk to you. Are you ever in New York? Like, or maybe we'll be in Chicago. But she was like, do you want to come on my podcast and talk about this? And I was like, damn, like, that is so awesome. That's amazing. And I said, I would absolutely love to. Thank you for not being mean to me. And so, yes, so we're working on it, Word and Bird Nerd. Yeah, Stan, nothing from Stan yet. So yeah, everybody, yeah, I think people are thinking about it. Kelly, happy birthday tomorrow. Hey, Nose to Quilts is here. This is great. Hey, Kenny. And quilting Nancy. Okay, yeah. So let's see. The last announcement. Is that true? Yeah, I thanked the new subs. Cool. I talked about the schedule. Cool. Back in London. Awesome. Yep, did that. Oh yeah. The one last thing is that the QuiltCon tour that we did, the walkthroughs, there was like part 1 and part 2. We were talking about this on the Discord. So live streams are kind of a weird area. You have to get a press pass if you're doing any kind of press at QuiltCon, which I'm well aware. Like, I've been an editor for many years. I had to get press passes for Quilty. I would get press passes for Quiltfolk. If you're going to run content like on stuff, like in an official sort of way, like, you need to get a press pass. Live stream to me feels like social media, but I'm new at it, right? I've never done an on location live stream before. So I didn't think about it. I didn't think about getting a press pass because it's not press. It's like, it's like a live stream, and other people do live streams too. And so anyway, so the deal is that I took those I unpublished those 2 episodes just to be safe, and I need to email Elizabeth at the Modern Quilt Code just to make sure before I republish them. Because like, I don't need any other trouble. I don't need like any other drama. But I will hopefully just put those right back up. I don't think that it would be good. I won't put them on YouTube though, on the YouTube channel, because they said like YouTube is not okay or something. You need to get a press pass to put on YouTube. So anyway, I'll figure it out. It was a great show. Next year, Quilt Nerd is going to be like, we might have a magazine at that point. I don't know. Who knows what can happen? 2022 is going to be a big deal. So just so you know, that's where that is. And Echo So, if you're watching, I sent you a message here on Twitch. You know you won the giveaway. If you don't know, you won. Echo So, you won. So you got to get back to me and let me know if okay, good. If you won $100 gift certificate to Beyond Buckskin Boutique. It's so amazing. So if you're there, you got to wave your hand and you got to email me, twitch@maryfonts.com, okay? Because you won. And Small Town Roots has seen several other video walkthroughs on YouTube. I'm sure it's fine. Mark Wesley, how's it going? That's great. Okay, those are all the announcements. But now I have a question. So I have a question, and we will continue with our content, but I want to know, I want you to think about, what should I lecture on next year at QuiltCon? If they'll have me. I think they will. What should I lecture on? At QuiltCon, there were a couple of nerds. We were talking about men in quilting. Yes, because if I want to do more controversial things, although men in quilting, I mean, you should know, I would be talking, the lecture would be, quotes from men, right? I would be talking to lots of men in quilting and shaping a lecture out of their comments, quoting them and that. It's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I am curious about it. And with QuiltCon every year, I pitch lectures because I'm curious about something. Curious about quilts and fashion, curious about quilts and fine art. Um, by the way, Tracy Von Manley, an amazing woman, the associate chair of African American Studies at Northwestern University. She's amazing. She was in the Illinois edition of Quilt Folk. She's an extraordinary person. Her focus is quilts in literature. Nobody's cooler than Tracy Von Manley. She came up to me afterwards. She was like, that was your best lecture yet. The quilts and fine art one. Pretty cool. We've got ideas. Hang on. Okay, Kenny's like thinking men in quilting is good. I think it's got legs too. Hairy legs. Just kidding. Ethical sourcing of fabric. Ethical sourcing of fabric. Yeah. Live streaming and tech in quilts. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Live streaming and tech and Twitch, that kind of, yeah. Oh, that's great. Stephanie Cake, that's great. We fleshed out all the men in quilting details on the Discord, Mary Fons. That's fantastic. Quilts in social media, quilts in the pandemic. Oof. That's really good. Quilts in the pandemic, social media, it's like one of those things that it's like, oh, we know about social media, we know about, but do we really understand what it's doing? Men in quilting, I think so too. Very good at buying fabric. That's great. Men in quilts, I think quilts from Britain and Europe. Oh yeah. Go really like historical. That's interesting. Hand quilting is self-care. You people are very good. Self-care in general. Hand quilting. Padma, that's right. The third quilt revival. The theory that we're actually in a third quilt revival. That's very good because, it takes like a bold statement about things to really get people's minds going about things, and I think we are in a third quilt revival. Very interesting. Third wave. Quilts as historical record. Oh, I hope I don't miss anybody. Hang on. Yeah, quilt resurgence, pandemic. Yeah, effects of the pandemic. Yeah, pandemic is coming up. Third wave, pandemic, historical record. Yes. That's good. Safe dyes. Oh, yeah. That's good. You know what? Safe dye, miscellany, that's a great idea. I want a person who dyes fabric, to talk about that. But it's a fabulous idea, and like Alison Glass would be really good at doing that. I want to hear from her on it. Pandemic, that's safer dyes. It's good. Quilting in Latin America. We're never gonna get to the show. Latin America. I really want to know about that too because I have a project I'm working on. Quilt revival. Yeah, it's really good. Denim and quilting. That's interesting. This is like the best. Who gets to do this, before they pitch? Quilts from around the world. Quilting and mental health. MME Larry, I did quilting and mental health last year for QuiltCon together. It's good. Oh, I also have to write down that I want to figure out a way to give you the lectures, to give at least the subscribers, the lectures. I want to do the quilts and fine art lecture for you guys and the quilts and fashion lecture because it's much different from my video. It's not the same thing. Lectures. QuiltCon lectures for subs, ? Hey, Molly. Your kittens have gas? It's terrible. The house must be disaster. Yeah, this is good. Recycling fabric. Okay. Safe dyes. Yeah. Oh, this is all really good. Okay, that's okay. You come back, watch the replay. You're good. Take care of those people. Quilting politic and the trends. We'd love to hear. Okay, yeah. Okay, Proud. I would love to do them. I would really love to do them. Slow fashion. Yeah, Natalie Channon. Yes, yeah, the slow movement. And how has it changed? It's really good. Okay. All right. So if you have other ideas and you have the Discord, put them in there. Maybe I'll do a QuiltCon 2023 channel, right? Because QuiltCon 2022 is done. So there's a channel in the Discord for QuiltCon 2022, but that's old news. So maybe we'll do a 2023. You know what I'm saying? Alternative textiles, a new channel. Okay, cool. I'll totally do that. People, what's going on? New QuiltCon 2023. Okay. Upholstery Guild. You people, and you know what, by the way, if you're going to go to QuiltCon 2023, you can pitch. The deadline has been extended. So if you really want to see a lecture and, you can write one. I mean, you can create one. I can give you tips, if you want them. Okay. So we got, let's march on. Oh, Lord. Okay. Can you hear me right now? Yeah? Yeah? Can you hear me right now? Yes? Good? Yes. Okay. That's good. That is very good. Okay. So you can hear me now. All right. So now I have to do a thing. So just wait because the microphone changes and oh God. Okay. Hang on. We got this. That's very terrifying. You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. The thing that I did. I'm going to get small like this. I can't bear it if I have like a problem with that. So we're just going to scoot stuff around. I can't take it. So this is going to be weird. This is like some really behind the scenes stuff, but I am not going to lose sound and freak out because you know what happened when I did that other thing? My whole screen died. So the look on my face was me thinking that I had lost the entire stream. Yeah, it was fun. It was great. So that's not cool. So this is just how it looks when I'm doing things when you're not watching. Just a little behind the scenes, but I'm not losing audio. I'm sorry. That's not happening. No. No. Okay. That's technology. Exactly. That's technology. We have sound. That's all I care about. So now we can just pretend that everything's the same. Yay. And I'll make the chat a little bit smaller because I think it's like covering up a little bit. Okay. We're here. We got this. This is everything's fine. Oh, wait, here. I got one more thing to do. Oh, yeah. I want you to see the whole screen, of course. Here we go. Perfection is boring. Thank you. I agree. Whew. All right. So what have we got? We have this quilt, and it is really cool, I think. And here's what it is. And I'll zoom in a little bit and tell you what we're looking at. So this is the Royal Star, it's called Royal Star Quilt. And it is at the Anacostia Community Museum It is held in the Smithsonian collection. And it is, hang on one second. Let me go over here. Here's what we know about it. So it was made by Emma Russell in 1986. It's cotton, polyester, and batting. Yep. 80 by 87. And here is what the Smithsonian has to say. Quote, "Star with royal beauty bright, sing Christmas carolers in We Three Kings, whose chorus extols the Magi's stellar guide. Fittingly, this quilt's royal star pattern is also known as the Star of Bethlehem. In Emma Russell's rendition, an 8-pointed star radiates concentric stars arrayed by still more stars. Light yellow warms the dark brown star at the quilt's center." Oh yeah, it is. It's light yellow. I didn't really notice. I thought it was kind of a white, but yeah, it's light yellow. Followed by bright green. Then, instead of solids, striped fabrics in hues of brown and white suggest rays of light. Dark brown repeats next, outlining the star in dramatic contrast with the quilt's white background. In the 8 angles of the embellished star, bordered in deep greens, is a partial or whole star. This constellation is also dark brown and stands out against white fabric in the quilt's top, which forms its binding and backing. Though Russell hand-stitched much of the quilt, it might also include machine quilting. Sisters Annie Dennis and Emma Russell grew up as 5th-generation quilters in Woodville, Mississippi's Doloroso community. After studying at Alcorn Agricultural and Mechanical College, now Alcorn State University, Russell, who's the maker of this quilt, Russell moved... Russell moved to Bienville Parish, Louisiana, just over the water, quote unquote, or across the Mississippi River from Doloroso. Along with her sister and their mother, Phoebe Johnson, Russell helped both to carry on and document African American quilting traditions in the Mississippi Delta in partnership with photographer Roland L. Freeman. We know Roland L. Freeman. Roland L. Freeman wrote Communion of the Spirits, that like epic documentation, history, text of African American quilt making in the United States. Amazing. This quilt was on display at the Anacostia Community Museum's exhibition Home Sewn, Quilts from the Lower Mississippi Valley, from December 23 to February 2015. I think it's great. You know, green, like I'm not like drawn to green that much. It's no problem with green, but I don't know. Green is not a color that like purple is kind of low on my list sometimes. Green, I don't think about it as much as I think about other colors. So I was like, oh, look at this quilt. Look at this green quilt. I love it. Green and brown. It's amazing. It works. So that's our opening quilt today. And I think it's pretty groovy. Yeah. Hey, Marianne. I like the love handles. Oh, Marianne, that's great. Yes, the love handles indeed. You know, it is. It's like, it's asymmetrical, but it is actually quite symmetrical, because of the love handles. That's beautiful. You know what? You get a sound effect. Hang on. I gotta do something, people. I've got to do something. Got to do it right now, because this is really important. When things change, things change. Hang on. It's all worth it. It's all happening. It's all happening. Interesting. Okay. Yep. So here we go. Yeah, this is great. Maybe. All right. Anyway, Marianne, you did very well. That was very funny and good. Okay, so my sound effects are not behaving. That's okay. Sound has been a problem tonight. It's all right. We'll be back. With sound next time. Okay, so let's look at what we have tonight. Tonight, there's lots of things. First of all, I had an amazing, yeah, Quilting Politics. Sometimes I have to force myself to use colors outside my preferred colors. 1,000%. You got to push yourself, you know? Um, mm, I loved the tour at QuiltCon. So the day that Eric and I left, we left Sunday from Phoenix to go to London, come to London. And hey, Threadist, watch from afar. I mean, hopefully the dulcet tones of my voice will keep you company while you're sewing. I'm glad you're here. Our flight was delayed 4 hours, and we were not supposed to take off until 8:30 or something. So we didn't leave till like after midnight. So, but we had some time to kill, and so we went to the Heard Museum there in Phoenix, and the Heard Museum is amazing. And I will show you. I will show you something that I discovered there that blew me away. It just blew me away. The Heard Museum. Has anyone been there? Yeah, okay. No, Flinster's been there. It's extraordinary. M. Hicks is here. Hey, hi. I hope you're doing well and you got home safe and sound. So the Heard Museum, so this is from the website. Since its founding in 1929, the Heard Museum has grown in size and stature to become recognized internationally for the quality of its collections, world-class exhibitions, educational programming, and its unmatched festivals. Dedicated to the advancement of American Indian art, the Heard successfully presents the stories of American Indian people from a first-person perspective, as well as exhibitions that showcase the beauty and vitality of traditional and contemporary art. The Heard Museum sets the standard for collaborating with American Indian artists and tribal communities to provide visitors with a distinctive perspective about the art of Native people, especially those from the Southwest. Joyous Fibers has been there too. Oh, Penny Catherine, you used to ride your bike to the Heard Museum. You live 4 blocks from it. This museum, I had never been there. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's so beautiful and great. And this, okay, this is another image. This is from the internet that I pulled here. It's beautiful, first of all. It's big. We didn't have enough time to go through all of it because we got there, I think, an hour before it closed. But one of the most amazing, like life-changing, y'all. It's going to be true for you too. So I took a picture of this. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at this thing. I mean, it's just a beautiful. I don't have the whole caption on there. Well, it's like, I don't know, an angel made that. It just doesn't look, it looks sort of untouched by human hands. It's absolutely gorgeous. But this is what I want to share with you. So there's this gallery, and there was this exhibit in the gallery, the one that you're seeing. I took this picture, and hang on, let me pull this up here. Here we go. So, so there were these textiles on the wall of the gallery. Yeah, so I've got a few of them to show you, just a few. But so they're amazing. I have a couple detail shots of this too, and I can read to you what it says. So here's what this says. This is a Diné, a person from the Diné people. It's a pictorial textile from the 1940s. Hand-spun wool. And the quilt nerds, we're so into pictorial quilts and things, right? So all of these were pictorial weavings. Yeah, quilt church indeed. Indeed. Textile church, right? Hand-spun wool, 4-ply commercial wool yarn, wool warp, natural wool color, and aniline dyes. So I'm going to show you the card that I'm going to read to you now, but I'm going to show you because I couldn't figure it out at first. But are you ready to change everything that you've ever done when you're talking about anonymous? What they title, the name that they give to the person who made this textile is not anonymous, and it is not unknown artist or unidentified artist or unidentified. This museum credits artist once known. Yeah. I'm just going to leave that right there for you. I have to tell you, I couldn't figure it out at first. At first, I thought, I think it's amazing, right? At first, I thought, I feel so dumb, but I don't know. I was looking at the first like 4 of these, and I was just so blown away that I was like, wow. And I thought it was maybe by one person, and this person was like some amazing, like performance art kind of like person, artist once known. I mean, I just didn't understand. And then, yes, artist once known. Artist once known. Because the artist was once known. We don't know the artist, but they were known at one time. It's just such, to me, it's this elegant reframing. And I just think it's beautiful. I mean, I thought it was somebody's like performance or artist name. I mean, really. So artist once known. Oh, Penny Catherine says Dene means the people. That's beautiful. Gives me chills too. Gives me chills too. Woolen Pearls, first time chat from you. Thanks. I'm so glad that you're here. So glad that you're here to hear this too. I just think it's really special. Molly Squared asks, is it a Navajo term like Susan Hudson said? Death is, okay. Susan Hudson, the quilt maker who was she's a very famous quilt maker, an Indigenous woman who gave the tour this year at the special exhibit at QuiltCon for the Indigenous Quilt Makers exhibit. Susan Hudson said death in Navajo language is called walking on. Walking on. So it's interesting. Yeah, next level, little bird. And Dene means the people. Very interesting. So, yeah. So, I mean, I just think that's pretty awesome. I think that's pretty awesome. Wanted to share it with you. I mean, sounds like some of you are like, into it too. I've just never thought about it before. And how many times have we read that? Artist unidentified, unidentified artist, artist unknown, anonymous, but artist once known is pretty cool. There's a lot of dignity to it, I think. So anyway, so this is this wonderful thing. So let me tell you, this work contains various elements that express the weaver's attention to detail. Look, I mean, this is Quilt Nerd, we don't do a lot of other textiles here, but I mean, I just had to show you, and there are some very quilty motifs here because the quilty motifs that we use are universal, really. There's a star block, if you will, look at 8-pointed star there on one of those kilts. So each of the kilts, exactly, small town roots, each of the kilts worn by the figures is unique in design and color. So each one of these is different. An accurate portrayal of the individualism expressed by dancers in the Nightway ceremony. The hair on each mask is different. Oh, wow. The hair on each mask is different in color and orientation. Wow. The figures on the upper section have hair that gives the illusion of being blown forward as if their backs are turned to the wind. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Whereas the figures on the lower section of the textile do not. Wow. Oh, wait. Oh, what was that? Hey, Quack Cat. Thank you so much for following. I'm so glad. Thank you for being here. Let me get to some, that's a zoom in of the kilts, but I feel like I have a picture of their little hair. Upper figures are smaller in size than the lower, perhaps indicating a forced perspective of distance captured by the artist. It's just wonderful. So that's, I don't know, I had to show you. And then there's just 2 more textiles to share. Kelly Naher, I'm telling you, that's what I was kind of like thinking of, Prince or Banksy or something. Thank you. I couldn't think of a way to describe what I was thinking of when I first saw it, but it was kind of like that. And this, the main orangey brown color in this textile is derived from the root of a plant called mountain mahogany, a slow growing shrub that can be found on the rocky, gravelly slopes of high mountain areas. Dene weaver Kevin Aspas relates that harvesting the root is difficult due to its location, but warns it can be destructive if the person collecting the root is not knowledgeable. Wow. Oh, wait, this is about dying. If too large a portion is taken from the root of a single tree, the tree will not survive. So small portions of many roots must be gathered to have enough for dyeing the wool. Fascinating. And then there's, hey, Bridgewater. Woohoo! Bring on the fibers indeed. So this is the last one. I mean, I took a lot of pictures, but I wanted to get onto to some things. What's going on? What's going on? Marthas, thanks for subscribing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is a great community. I think you made the right choice. And I'll send you a link to the Discord after I'm done. I think that's another thing I'll have a mod. Figure out how to get the mods to, or actually. Okay, I'll do it tonight, but then next time, because I've got to do a couple other people, send them an invite to the Discord. But next time, I'm going to have mods do it, send a link, like whisper a link to the people who subscribe so they can get into the Discord and I won't forget, Anyway, this is made in the 1920s by artist once known, a strange and compelling amalgamation of Catholic and Diné imagery represented in this textile. The two outer figures in white have raised arms, holding staffs with orange ribbons falling below. Isn't that strange? Situated between them is a Catholic figure dressed in a habit, holding two distinct crosses. Megan GJB. Okay. Okay, I got you. Situated between them is a Catholic figure dressed in a habit, holding two distinct crosses adorned with feathers. Oh yeah, that's wild. A black snake with white details ominously mirrors the Catholic figure in color and position. Whoa! Conveying visual association. Is this a critique of assimilation? Or is there a reverence toward this figure as it performs with the dancers? I don't know. The Catholics and the Native American situation was often very, very terrible. I mean, I don't know, but I've read some pretty scary things. In 1898, Franciscan friars founded St. Michael's Mission in northern Arizona, and it was not uncommon for friars and nuns to attend Yei Bishai and other Navajo ceremonies. Okay. Night gallery. Yeah, Myra, I get night gallery vibes. Same. That was so scary. Yeah, the snake is not a good sign. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's not so good. It was pretty creepy. Okay, so next we're gonna do this. I have lots of things to share with you. So this is gonna be fun. So yesterday, yeah, creepy but great, totally. Yesterday I had a call with Marsha McDowell and Beth Donaldson at MSU. And the Quilt Index is run by Michigan State University. And we have talked about the Quilt Index before. We've used the Quilt Index before. I'm actually going to click out of this for a second and pull the Quilt Index up here. So the Quilt Index is pretty incredible, right? It's this repository of like thousands and thousands and thousands of images of quilts, ephemera, articles, all kinds of things. And if you've used the Quilt Index before, there's so much here. And so we had a call yesterday. Yeah, dominoes. Yeah, we're going to go to the dominoes here in just a minute. But I got to the dominoes through the Quilt Index. So I had a call with these ladies who are very accomplished and amazing and brilliant, and they've written books and they make quilts and travel the world, and we could do a show about each of them. Like I will do a chapter, on Beth Donaldson, on Marsha McDowell, because they're really important people, really, really important people in the story of quilt scholarship. And so the Quilt Index, I had like a training session on it yesterday because I want to use it more on this show. And you should use it more on your show and in your life. But I didn't really know how to use it very well. And so I got a little sesh and I want to show you what I learned. Now, the chat is covering up an important thing. So I'm going to move the chat down here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to scoot myself because I'm help. I'm going to scoot myself over here, and I'm going to scoot you here because, I don't want us to miss anything. And if it becomes too tough, actually, you know what? Let's not do that. I'm going to hide the chat for a second, just for a second. And then come back online. So I'm just going to hide the chat for a minute while I show you this, because the navigation is up in the upper right-hand corner. So you have here, quilts, stories, artists, collections, resources, ephemera, about the quilt index, and search, and then donate. And I'm going to give you some more information about that too, about something pretty cool that they're doing. So, if you want to, we're going to search for something. And here's a key thing. So when I used the quilt index before, I would hit the search button, and then I would go over here and I would I would search for my thing. Okay. But what's a little tricky about this is that when you click search, you're not done yet. There's this sub menu, okay? And this is the navigation menu, okay? So you've got this sort of bigger menu here, the main menu. And then you've got your navigation bar, okay? So you hit search, and then you come down and look, more specifically for what you're after. So it takes some poking around to show us the secrets. Exactly. M. Sujan, did you just get here? I'm so glad you're here. I also think pizza, by the way, when I hear domino. Okay. So if you want, the default for the search, you hit search, and the default is quilts. Okay. So you can search for quilts by keyword, ID, style, fabric, period. You've got all this advanced, these options to whittle things down. Okay. You can search by pattern name, Drunkard's Path. You can search by quilt maker, perhaps Mary Gasprick, Nora Ezel, perhaps. You can try all those things. Location, if you want to find all the quilts that were made in New York City, or London. I don't know, but you can do all of that here. Period. A year range. Okay. If you know what institution, you can look at all of these. Look at all of these. Can I make this bigger? Hang on. I don't know that I can. Okay. Well, look at all these museums. They have Indiana State Museum, Museum of Texas Tech, State Historical Society of Iowa, University of Louisville. I mean, and more than that. So the love chart covers my face. I don't know what the love chart is. Love chart. What does it mean? Small Town Ruth says, on my phone, the love chart covers your face, Mary. I don't know if I can fix it or if you'd move yourself above Quilt Nerd logo. I think it might be a phone thing, Small Town. Oh, okay. Oh, God. Okay, live chat covers my face. Not love chart. I could put a love chart on this show. I could do that. I don't know what it means, but I could do it. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Eleni. I'm so glad that you're into it. I mean, there's so much to show you. So you can search by color. You can search by fabric. You can do all of this, but wait, there's more, okay? So, I mean, Beth and Marsha were like on, we did a Zoom call about this. So you got to hit search first up in the right-hand corner, but then you could click on artists and you type a name in here. Now, here's another tip. There's like two main tips. The first one is, after you click search, you got to go to the navigation bar and get more specific. The other big tip that I didn't know is that you need to use quotes around, and if you have more than one word, put it in quotes, okay? Now, I'm going to do something risky because I haven't tested this out, but let's do Emma Andres. See what we get. Emma Andres was a quilt maker from Arizona, I believe. And she, okay, they don't have results for Emma Andres, but Beth, if you're watching, I know that I might have done something wrong, or or I can search for her in another way. So don't worry about that. I'm going to show you what I did today to get this domino quilt. Okay, double quotes. Let's see. What did I do? Search artists. Yeah. Emma Andres. Double quotes. Oh, right. You mean double single? Yeah. Oh, don't be mad at me if I don't do it right. Okay, that's fine. If Beth is watching, she's like, no, did you learn nothing? But I did. Anyway, so I'll figure it out. If I did something wrong, I will definitely tell you all. But what I was searching around, so collections, there's just, you got to poke around. You got to you got to just do some exploring. Stephanie Cake says, this is great. I'm researching something and completely forgot this exists. Yeah, like the quilt index is amazing. It's amazing. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I was looking around at different things. I'm going to pull this back down because I want to get you to the domino quilt. Here we go. Get that up there. I was looking around and just, I was looking for content. I've got so much content in folders, but sometimes I just want to find something new. So I was poking around on the quilt index, practicing basically, and I found this amazing person, and her name is Eugenia Mitchell. Hang on, I gotta go back here. This and ephemera. So I found all these wonderful quilts, and I found, information about this woman who was really, really interesting. She was the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum founder. So let me see here. Eugenia. And I wanted to, wanted to show you some things here. Hang on. Okay. So I've got, hold on. Of course, that is there. Okay, cool. So here are the quilts. So this quilt was made by Eugenia Mitchell. It's called Domino, and it was made in 1980. And by the way, I've got the quilt index. Let me just pull it up for you so you can see. So this is Eugenia Mitchell Quilts, the foundation of the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum collection. So all of this stuff, all of the quilts that I'm going to show you are in the quilt index. They're in the quilt index, and you can click on certain things and you can compare quilts. If you click compare right up there in this, in the upper right-hand corner down a little bit, you can compare things. This is a special collection that they have at the quilt index, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in just a minute. So they have all of these special collections, and this is one of them, Eugenia Mitchell. Okay, so back to dominoes. I mean, this is kind of like eye candy while I tell you about Eugenia Mitchell. Okay, so Eugenia Mitchell founded the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum collection, or her quilts sort of are they were kind of the seed quilts, from what it seems. The Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum in Golden, Colorado first opened its doors in 1990, thanks to founder Eugenia Mitchell. Okay, great. The museum currently has 340 quilts in its collection. Word and bird nerd, that's good to know. Predominant, yeah, that's good. Molly says, I want to volunteer to do metadata for them. That would be great. They're an amazing institution, and the women who have been doing the work for the Quilt Index are, I mean, it's extraordinary what they've made, and you know, volunteers I'm sure would be most welcome. Um, so has anybody been to the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum? Anybody? So the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum in Golden, Colorado is a non-for-profit organization dedicated to preserving and promoting the history of American quilts and quilt making. Look at that fabric that's behind the dominoes. And look at how the dominoes, like the shape that she put in between the pips, the little sides of the sides with the pips. This is accomplished at the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum through outstanding changing exhibits and by providing many educational opportunities to all levels of the local and regional community, as well as hosting national symposia. The quilts in the permanent and educational collections and all related documentation, this is so great, are housed at the museum. When the museum opened its doors in 1990, the founder, Eugenia Mitchell, offered the gift of 100 quilts from her private collection to start the RMQM's permanent collection. The collection has grown and contains pre-Civil War examples and many favorite Victorian era types, wonderful Depression era quilts, and contemporary and art quilts. Throughout the year, select quilts from the permanent collection of the RMQM are exhibited to showcase different decades, styles, colors, and latest acquisitions. And all the quilts in this gallery that you're looking at were made by Mitchell, with the exception of the last quilt, which I'll show you. Mama always wore an apron. And let's see. Okay, so let's look at this quilt. Your love chart. wait, hold on. Let me put the chat back up because I hid the love chart, which is the chat. The love chart. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over the love chart. So Demented, you've been to the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum. That's awesome. And you say you didn't realize they have a permanent collection because the museum doesn't have too many quilts exhibited at one time. That's interesting. I've never been there. Golden, Colorado, interestingly, is it's a place with a lot of like quilt history because, I mean, there's the museum, but there's also the offices of, was it Interweave for a while, but Golden, Colorado, I've done filming in Golden, Colorado for Fons and Porter because their offices that made Interweave for a long time, and Quilter's Newsletter, I believe, was made out of the Golden, Colorado offices for a long time. So it's pretty interesting. You have to, Sewing Karen, I think we do have to keep the term alive. I think we have to keep calling the chat box the love chart. God. Oh. Okay. I mean, I'm into it. Hang on one second. Okay, so this quilt, by the way, so this is all about Colorado, right? A centennial, I think. Centennial? Yeah. So April 18th, 1775. I think that's Paul Revere. Is that Paul Revere up there? Running to Tell. If I got my American history wrong and that's not Paul Revere, I'm just gonna be crushed. But I think that is because here we have the Declaration of Independence. Yes, the birth of our nation, 1776. Hang on. And then state of Colorado, and give the love chart a trophy. Okay, bye, Molly. Good luck with those kittens. Those tooting kittens. Okay. Yeah, put the thing on the Discord. I think that's a good idea. So state of Colorado, and I guess it looks like Colorado or Golden is a suburb of Denver. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, bicentennial. So that's a bicentennial quilt. Great. Yeah, great. So Colorado was founded in 1876. Okay, cool. Sounds good. And let me go here and show you some more. So Eugenia Mitchell. I'm trying to get the love chart to the upper left. Okay, I did move that love chart to the upper left. I hope it's there now. I mean, maybe can you refresh? Refresh something? Our upper left, opposite from where it is now. Oh, upper left. So I mean, is this what you mean? This show, tech-wise, is just bananas. I mean, so now I've got the text over there, the love chart. I don't know what's happening. God. And I can't find Eugenia Mitchell. I had it. It's here. But now I cannot find it. And that is really annoying. But that's okay. Beth, if you're out there, I don't know. Just having a little trouble. So this quilt was made in 1976. Between 1976 and 1999, an alphabet crib quilt. It's pretty adorable. This Eugenia Mitchell lady was pretty talented. She's, as you'll see, there's a couple really artsy looking quilts that she made. Very interesting. It is hilarious, Karen. I'm glad that you think so. Does this look better? With the chat over there? Okay. I like it. That sounds good. To me. I mean, as long as you all are happy, that's fine. Whew. It's when I get back into the swing of being in London, it'll be great, and then I'll leave again, It'll just be over. Okay. I think so. This has embroidery, obviously. Yeah. And she signed it. Oh, look, right down there. She's embroidered her name. Have you all embroidered your name on your quilts? I have now. I mean, I don't know if you would call it embroidery, but I have stitched my name onto things. Stitched my name onto a quilt now, which was very exciting. It doesn't look very good, but you can tell it's my name. This is interesting. So this was a Christmas quilt made with handkerchiefs. And yeah, I know. Seeing the chat over there is kind of freaking me out. But I guess it's, you know what? Look, you can't get too messy, because when it gets messy, can we just talk and not do anything else? I don't know. Talk about the tech. People are just going to start bailing. Anyway, the messier my hair gets, the worse the green screen looks. This show is bananas. What happened? Everything fell off the rails. Molly's cats are having issues, and I think that's when it started. Love chart needs to go back to the screen on the right. Listen, you know what? I have to say, I think it has to be this way, because here's why. I think the stuff needs to stay on the right. I mean, there's the little quilt nerd ad, but but that's just like a little, it's just like a little thing. I think the stuff has to stay on the right. The love chart. God. The love chart. So this quilt is Colorado Wildflowers, made in 1974. Yeah, love charts and cat farts. Exactly, Padma. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you checked in. Because, what's... Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, I can't find Eugenia Mitchell in the quilt index. I don't know why. I'm doing the things that I learned, but I can't find it. And I'm sure it is user error, but that's okay. That's okay. I looked in places, and I don't know why it's not coming up. Okay. So I think that this is not, well, the border is pieced, right? But everything else is embroidery. I mean, she's so amazing. I would like to read more about her. But anyway, so what I want to tell you too about the Quilt Index, which is really cool. So these collections that they have, is the collections that they have are really wonderful. And you can, if you want, you can have a collection uh, created in the Quilt Index. It can be, for example, like I think it would be cool to have a Marianne Fawn's collection in the Quilt Index. And it's something I'm going to talk to my mom about. Mom, if you're watching, uh, oh, Wildflowers is A through Z. That's so great. I didn't even notice it because I don't know what I was doing, moving the love chart around on the screen. But like, Marianne Fawn's, she's got a lot of quilts. They're pretty special. They're important to me. And it would be cool in the Quilt Index to have a Marianne Fawn special collection. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a donation that you give, sort of a donation, and sort of they put everything together. They take the pictures and they fill out all the records and things. So if I was going to work with Mom to put a Marianne Fawn special collection together for the Quilt Index, we would get the quilts together. We would work with the Quilt Index to create that, and of course it takes time and some labor. So there's some cost involved, but then the quilts will be there, right, in this digital collection for all time, which is special to me. It'd be important to me to do that. So I'm going to talk to Mom about it, because where else is she going to have all of her quilts together, in this sort of digital way? I mean, if they're not on the Quilt Index, where are they going to be? I mean, some of her and Liz's quilts are going to go to, some of her quilts are totally going to go to the International Quilt Museum, but this is different, right? This is different. So I would say, if you have, I mean, I'm not like trying to like sell the thing, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. The Quilt Index is incredible, and there are these special collections that can be made. And I think if you have a quilt maker in your life, perhaps it's your mother, perhaps it's a neighbor that you know, perhaps, I don't know, perhaps you're a collector. This is smart. I think this is a smart thing to do, because look, Eugenia Mitchell's quilts, they're part of the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum, of course, but like there's this special collection that we can access and look at. And, the Quilt Museum doesn't have this, the Smithsonian doesn't have this. Like, it's pretty cool. Hey, Sew On Positive Threads, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, totally. And of course you can donate to the Quilt Index at any time, and you should. They've got a matching grant right now. Actually, you know what? They have a matching donation thing right now. Susan Salzer, who is the niece of Mary Gasprick. You remember when we talked about Mary Gasprick? She is the niece, oh God, I hope that's right, of Mary Gasprick, and she saw that episode and sent me an email to say, thank you, Quilt Nerds. That was awesome. So she is matching donations. And we love her, obviously. The block, Mother Nature says, block in the second row, left-hand side. Put her name without the quotes. Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Marianne. Okay, search, artists. Okay, the second block, the second row, left-hand side. Second row, left-hand side. This one, the blue, that pretty blue block. Second row, left-hand side. Now, because the love chart's been moving around, I don't even know what's left and right at this point. We now call you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for telling Sew On what we're talking about, because the love chart's going to need some explaining. Did I get the right one, Mother Nature? Second row, left-hand side? Because that's a really pretty block. No, next to it. Second row, left-hand. Oh, this one. This one, the spiky one? I was like, of all the blocks you want to take a look at, the blue and white one's like kind of basic. Compass points. Yeah, it looks like compass points. It does. It's beautiful. It's real spiky. Second row, left-hand side. I don't know why I thought that I think I was thinking second row, second block over. I don't know. Everything's crazy. With a signature. Yeah, it does have a signature. What does it say? It's too hard. Oh, something, well, I don't know. Looks like it could be Louisiana or like Luvinius or something like that. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, and then there's here Elaine. Okay, so this quilt is called Friendship Quilt, 1981. If I had read the title of it, we probably wouldn't have wondered too much what those signatures were. We would know. This is a great block. Look at this yellow one. Isn't that great? Marianne, would you put the link in the chat for me? Because I'm having trouble. And I would like to not have trouble anymore. If you don't mind. Don't read ahead, anybody. Marianne's going to put a link, I hope, in the chat. Don't read ahead. Marianne puts the link in the chat and don't click on it. Okay. This is really great. This is called Halley's Comet Signature Quilt. Oh, thank you. Lovely. Because the thing is, I have the Rocky Mountain exhibit up. I've got that, but I've got that one. It's the I want to learn more about Eugenia Mitchell. And I just don't have the right page for it. But I'm sure that we can find it. Was there a boy blowing bubbles at the bottom? You know what? Let's go back to that quilt actually, because boy blowing bubbles. Oh yeah, it is. That's not the bottom. Are you trying to mess with me? Are you? I'm directionally challenged at this point. Yes, he's blowing bubbles, and that is very cute. And yes, this is Pickle Dish over here. Pickle Dish up here. Pickle Dish is great. That is not easy though, right? It's tough. Does need to be. Yes, don't read ahead should be on the bingo board. And yeah, speaking of bingo boards, I have something to show you all. I'm saving it for Saturday night show. It's about bingo. Okay, let's move along. This show is crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, so this is Halley's Comet. I almost said Halley's Comet bingo board signature quilt, 1977. 1977. It's beautiful. So this pattern, this like what am I thinking of? It was a Century of Progress quilt that had a similar motif. I'm trying to think where I could find it really quickly. I'm not sure, but this I've seen this before. I've seen it before. This is 1977, which I assume was the year that Halley's Comet came around. Oh yeah, you get the popcorn for Saturday night show. It's gonna be epic for a number of reasons. Okay, so Halley's Comet. This is another handkerchief quilt, 1972. So, I mean, Eugenia has a bunch of different quilts, right, in the collection. I didn't pull all of them, but these handkerchief quilts, I really like these. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love it. Yeah, the Halley's Comet quilt's awesome. I really like these. I mean, I don't know that handkerchiefs are a thing people really have anymore. I mean, ooh, that has an M on it. I like that on the left. But, you know, you get a gallery and she's in the second row. Okay. Yeah. I wanted some text about her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for. And I don't think I'm looking in the right place. But the quilts, you know what? The quilts are enough. Right now, the quilts are enough. Yeah, I really like this. I don't know. It's very floral. It's very feminine, but the lights and the darks, they really work for me. They're really working for me. Padma says, my friend has a bunch of handkerchiefs from her family that she wants to turn into a quilt. Totally show her this one. 1,000%. 1,000%. If you go to the link that, I'm going to use the one that Nosta Quilts gave because that takes you right to the gallery. Hey, Crafts for Others. Crafts for Others forgot that we were on tonight. You've been studying and watching stuff about Ukraine. The yellow quilt is interesting. It is interesting. And I started the stream tonight by saying that it's been a really strange night and I was kind of down. And Ukraine, you know, is the first thing that was on my mind. It's really crazy, you guys. It's really crazy. We gotta be thinking of them, you know. Liz D203. Liz D203. I'm so glad you're here. You want to make a bandana quilt for picnics. I thought about bandanas when I was like, do people do handkerchief things anymore? I mean, do they use them? And then I thought about bandanas. You should absolutely make a bandana quilt. If you have a bandana that you've used for a really long time, you know, they get really soft and nice. Probably be a really soft quilt. Word and Bird Nerd says, oh, and Crafts for Others, your grandparents still use them. Haley's comment comes around every 75 years. The next time will be 2061. That's wild. Bye, Kelly. Oh, you're getting a new laptop for the husband from the husband for your birthday? Hell yeah. Oh my God, that's great. Yes, Kenny, let me see if we can see the quilting any better on this quilt. That looks so cool. So I see a little bit in here. Can you see? It's just like coming through like in a, I don't know if that helps. Yeah, that might help a little bit. And Karen's going to be 96. Well, will I even be around? Ooh, well, let's see. You'll be 96 in 61. Let's see. I'm 42. It's, yeah. We'll be around. We'll be gumming our carrots together. I think I'll be about that age too. So, did you see it? Did you see the quilting a little bit, Kenny? I see a little bit. It's really hard to see it though. But I think it's just kind of some straight lines. Well, wait a minute. No. Look at this on the side. Do you see this? Right above my head. Do you see this over here? I think it's more complicated than first appeared. It might be kind of feathery. I think it's some feathers. Word and Bird Nerd will be 109 in 1960 or in 2061. And she says, it could happen. And I say, it could. I mean, by then we might be living longer. I don't know. Castle Crips will be the young, spry age of 63. Well, Castle Crips. Congratulations. Wait a minute. What does that mean? You're like 20? I love you. I love that you're here. You're a best spring chicken. I like spring chickens. I like young nerds. Are you Sid? Are you Sid? You don't have to answer that. 24. Oh, you're not Sid. You're another spring chicken who I adore. So police siren for Castle Crips. I would, but that's part of the weirdness of this show tonight. Something's going totally wrong. There's a ghost in the machine. And by the way, if nobody has told Crafts for Others yet, we're now calling the chat box the love chart. Because now I even forget the origin story of the whole thing. Somebody was like, the love chart's covering your head, Mary. And it was an autocorrect problem. She meant live chat. But now it's the love chart. And I love it. I love chart, love it. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? This is what it's called. It was made in 1979, okay? And it's 1911 swatches of Gibson Girl shirtwaist batiste. So I would put it this way. This quilt is made from swatches of Gibson Girl shirtwaist batiste from 1911. Isn't it wonderful? It was Small Town Roots. Sorry, it was me. Well, we love it. We love it. It's the love chart. This is gorgeous. I know, right, Kenny? It's beautiful. Can we call Discord the disco? I would love to call it the disco. I hate the Discord. I can't believe that this whole thing that's now part of our lives, part of so many people's lives, Discord, is called Discord. It's the dumbest thing. You don't want Discord. You want harmony. Why couldn't they have called it harmony? Ugh. Discord. Join the Discord. It's the literal worst. I hate it. So we can definitely call it the disco. Call it the disco. Join the Quilt Nerd Disco. I mean, that's happening. That's a yes. Yeah, the triangle shirtwaist. I know. I thought of that too, honestly. The ripcord. Padma, I approve. Yeah, that's really good. So I think this is lovely. Anything with shirting prints on it? Yeah. Antique textile reuse. Oh, Harmony is a dating site. It's so true. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Marianne. Marianne, you get the Nerd Apple today. All right, let's see. Let's read a little bit more about Eugenia. Eugenia Hartmeister Mitchell, Marianne, I love you very much, died in 2006. Oh, and she was 103. See? It can happen. That's a do moment, because this is a woman living to a ripe old age, past 100. Doesn't happen all the time. This is from the Denver Post, by the way, in 2006. She stitched together a life told in the quilts she made, and collected with such devotion that 100 of her own quilts formed the backbone of the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum she founded. Indeed. Whoa, Elle Riggs points out she saw Halley's Comet twice. Would you get a Nerd Apple too? Applause. I know, Karen, I know. Look what happens, look. It gives me this little error message. I don't know why. The sound tonight was just like a huge disaster. Okay. Born in Brazil. Interesting. Born in Brazil, Eugenia Mitchell was the oldest of 12 children born to her parents, both Lutheran missionaries. Interesting. Her parents returned to the United States when she was 2. Eugenia and her 5 living siblings, 6 died in infancy, grew up in Illinois. Interesting. So these are Bible verses references. When she was 10, her mother taught her to quilt, hoping that sewing might help feminize her hoyden daughter. Hoyden? Hoyden. What does that mean? Hoyden? Oh, a boisterous girl. Hey, bye, Stephanie. Thanks for coming. It's crazy. This show is crazy. Thank you so much. Hoyden. Hoyden. Who knew that? Who knew that Hoyden, H-O-Y-D-N, meant boisterous? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Eugenia was 14 when she dropped out of school to work as a mother's helper, and then at a dry goods store. She continued to quilt. Among her first efforts was a pink, gray, and brown patchwork made from outgrown dresses. Asked to recommend batting, a colleague at the dry goods store pointed her toward lamb's wool, which cost $35, her whole monthly wage, for one bat. Oh, wow, look at this one. This is beautiful. Quote, I just told the boss man to order me a batch of lamb's wool and take it out of my pay, she told Sandra Dallas, who wrote The Quilt That Walked to Golden. And The Quilt That Walked to Golden, if you all remember, was the book where, when we talked about the Sugan quilts, the cowboys, it was back in Chicago. We talked about tobacco sack quilts and the cigar quilt. It wasn't cigar silk quilts. I think there was, but anyway, we talked about the tobacco sack quilts, and we talked about the Sugans, or the cowboy quilts. And there was a picture, a really amazing picture of cowboys like lounging with their Sugans, and that came from that book, The Quilt That Walked to Golden, Colorado. Sandra Dallas. In 1924, at age 20, this quilt is ridiculous. Yeah. We do have a lot of Hoyden girls and boys. Hoyden people here in the Quilt Nerd Show. In 1924, at age 20, she wed Ray Mitchell, a lumber yard worker, and gave him 4 quilts. Her husband's long days at the mill and nightly sessions at the pool hall left his wife to raise their children and care for their farm in Storm Lake, Iowa. Wee. Not cool, Ray. Pool hall. Yeah, great. Sounds awesome. There's a lot of story in there, a lot of life. Kenny. Yeah, right. She fed and milked the cows, butchered the chickens, cultivated a truck garden, and put up what she estimated to be 1,000 jars of preserved vegetables each year. Whoa! Along with fruit, meat, sauerkraut, tomato juice, molasses, and honey. I'm eating chips, so I feel like I don't have many skills. Seriously, 1,000 jars of preserved vegetables each year, along with fruit, meat, sauerkraut, tomato juice, molasses, and honey. By age 32, her relentless workload brought her to the precipice of a nervous breakdown. Good God. I mean, this is really getting, whoo. I mean, her husband was sounds like a bum, to be honest. And she's, yeah, by 32 doing all this, she brought her to the brink of a nervous breakdown. Well, now we have something in common, Eugenia. At her doctor's advice, she divorced her husband and her health returned. And that's quote, her health returned, unquote, said Sandra Mitchell. Sorry, I said Sandra Dallas. Wow, I know. This is crazy. What an interesting person. Look at this one, this yo-yo. Following the divorce, that's what she called her husband, a yo-yo. Following the divorce, Eugenia Mitchell was astounded to discover that her ex-husband had been married prior to their wedding with 2 children by his first wife. What a snake. I mean, we've all, we've not all been married before, but I mean, I was married before, but that was something that I disclosed to my husband now. What a jerk. Sounds like your ex, word and bird nerds, seriously? Your ex didn't tell you that they were married before? That's so uncool. That's like very uncool. And he had 2 kids. I don't know about you, but that, that's what was going on here. So Kenny, yeah, these are yo-yos. Those are little yo-yos, which I've never made. Have you made yo-yos? He was a scoundrel. It's exactly what he was, M. Hicks. So this is a quote from Eugenia. She said, quote, "I felt we would have been married till the day he died, but for his hidden secrets, like the hidden stars in the hidden star quilt." The hidden star quilt. I don't know if we have that one. Well, look, Ray Mitchell continued to support his family. Okay, well, that's something. Fastidiously giving his ex-wife $20 a week. Eugenia Mitchell supported her children by taking in boarders. That's great. I mean, working at home, sewing duffel. Maybe it was fun. I don't know. But anyway, sewing duffel bags for the Bemis Brothers Bag Company and contracting as a custom butcher. She could slaughter and dress up to 250 chickens in 8 hours. In 1949, she married one of her boarders. Okay, it was fun. It was fun. You need to find her in the census. Heck yeah. Oh no. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, honey, we're getting divorced. Doctor's orders. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Threatist. You need to divorce your husband. That's what's wrong with you. Okay, let's see. So in 1949, she married one of her boarders, Elmer Mitchell. No relation to her ex-husband. So interesting. This is getting pretty good. They moved to Golden in 1952. She remembered the marriage as a happy one. By the way, I love the gingham in this quilt. Is that cute or what? She remembered the marriage as a happy one, though her second husband often found himself unemployed. She can't catch a break. A few years after they moved to Golden, he was fatally bitten by a snake. Mark Wesley, married once and still in love 40 years later. God bless you. Listen, my plan is to be married until I'm dead to this man. I love this man. Drives me crazy sometimes. Love him to death. I love her too. So yes, he was a snake. Oregon Trail listing. I know. Marianne, this is thanks to you. I'm serious. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're almost there. God, what else is going to happen? As a widow, Mitchell worked as a cleaning woman and a caretaker. In her spare time, she quilted. Along with counterpanes, she created patchwork skirts, vests, and shoes that never failed to fascinate onlookers. Her materials came almost exclusively from worn-out clothing and fabric discards, and what she found at thrift shops. She lived by her wits, said her longtime friend Pat Moore, knowing how to find bargains and how to make do. Moore first met her in 1991. Mitchell, then 88, was as independent as she was garrulous. I love this writer's vocabulary. Instead of seeing a doctor, she regularly consulted a health practitioner and took folk remedies. Sewing Karen, I give you the applause. Sewing Karen says, first one was a snake, second one was bit by a snake. Exactly. I thought the same thing. She never hesitated to recommend her arthritis cure. This is the arthritis cure. The juice and ground rinds of an orange, a grapefruit and lemon, and some cream of tartar steeped in boiling water and strained. She drank a jigger of the concoction every day. I'm putting this in the chat. I think I'm going to have arthritis. I don't know. My grandmother had it. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, why does my knuckle do that? Miss Eleni had a rattler bite your shoe when it was on, and the thick sole saved you. Wow. We had rattlesnakes in my hometown. A lot of them too. And my mom shot one of them with a gun. She did, with a 44, 22. I think a 22. I don't know the difference. Okay, and then there's just a couple more here. And then in 1973, as a return to the earth trend fostered a renewed interest in quilts, we know this, Mitchell was acclaimed as a folk artist. Her quilts were exhibited in 1973 at the Denver Art Museum, and she became a fixture at quilting shows and seminars throughout the country. She traveled with 4 suitcases of carefully folded quilts. Among her most popular pieces was a patriotic effort she constructed of discarded buntings and flags, and a drunkard's path pattern she made following the death of her second husband, whose fondness for alcohol was no secret. Her second husband? Also? In the late 70s and early 80s, she ran a quilt store in Golden. Interesting. And began mustering support for what became the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum. She pieced quilts until 99 when Alzheimer's required her to be institutionalized. Survivors include her daughter, Mary Ellen, her brothers, 14 grandchildren, 29 great-grandchildren, and 10 great-great-grandchildren. Well done. Well done, Eugenia. I know I love the color too. Hey, Mom! Mom! My mom's in the chat. Mom, how are you? Oh my God, Mom, my sound is all jacked tonight. Like I was late coming on because my microphone, which is an amazing microphone, wasn't working. And then I had to fix it. And then I'm using the thing on my computer, but my soundboard doesn't work. And this is the perfect opportunity to use the soundboard because we have the Twilight Zone. I know it sounds good now, but my soundboard doesn't work because, well, whatever's wrong with it. But you came on right as I showed this quilt. And this quilt is called Mama Always Wore an Apron. And it was made in 2005 by Barbara Barr, who made it about Eugenia Mitchell. And you came on right now. I mean, is there like an icon? Is there like a ghost icon or some kind of emote? Well, at least it's like Quilt Church. I mean, we could do that. Well, how about the baby? Let's just do the baby. You know, the baby icon? I don't know. Anyway, I mean, that's crazy. So these are Eugenia Mitchell's actual aprons. This was made from thank you, Padma. These are actual aprons that she owned. And this person made it for her. Tonight has been a crazy show. I have a little bit, I've got another thing, but I'm saving it. I mean, it's midnight. It's after midnight here. It's wild. It's wild. And the thing is I can't, Mom, Quilting Nancy. Quilting Nancy is the recipient. That's Nancy. Is it Twin Peaks Day? It is. What does that even mean? It's probably like a day that's in Twin Peaks. It's special. Well, whatever it is, it's working. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about the Quilt Index, and they have really wonderful things. Mom, we talked about you earlier too. Yes, my mother shot a rattlesnake. Yes, it's a whole thing. Mom, can you send me a picture of the rattlesnake quilt? Because now we have to talk about it. Not now. It's too late. But that would be amazing if you could send me a picture of unrattled Mom. Don't say anything else about it. Don't read ahead because I'll talk about it. And maybe you could be on the show to talk about it. Chicken scratch on the blue gingham apron. Oh, that's great. That's great. What was I going to say? Anyway, yeah. What was I going to say? You want a donut? You want a donut? Why do you want a donut? Mom, some small town roots she mistyped, or it was an autocorrect situation. And she was trying to write live chat and she wrote love chart. And so she was like, Mary, the love chart is covering your face. And basically, from then on, it got bananas. What is, Mom, are you eating donuts? What is happening? I was having trouble logging on and only barely heard the story of this amazing person. I shot a rattlesnake with a .22. Yeah, how do donuts come into this? You better be eating donut. What? Okay, anyway. Yes, you will send everything. Excellent. Excellent. I don't know. It looks like there's a film about her. So Kenny says that she's Eugenia Mitchell was the subject of a feature film titled Undercovers of American Quilts by Millie Paul. That's cool. And Yvonne sent me something. Undercovers of American Quilts. Wow. Well, I got to find it. American Quilts by Millie Paul. That's awesome. Cool. What are you? Black coffee and a slice of pie. I don't know, you people. God, I love you. It's so good to be back. It's really, really, really good to be back. Just, not at QuiltCon. Like, done with all of that, like it's really good to be done with all of that. I'm going to get big again. I'm going to make this quilt my background for the outro, if you will. Because, it's time. It's time. Tonight the show was at 10 p.m. for me. And I think it's good. I'm just wondering if I can keep it up. So the schedule will be shifting a little bit, y'all, in the coming weeks. But Eric and I we're United States bound, and so just stay tuned and hang in there because the schedule's it's a pickle. It's a pickle to figure out when to do it to try to keep the most people happy, and by happy I mean able to watch. So but yeah, now that I'm done with QuiltCon, I can focus on the channel more, and I haven't done anything in terms of like outreach and growing things and subscription stuff. So all of that is happening. Susan, thank you so much. Yeah, I know, Mom, I'll be closer to you. Thanks, Sue. God, thank you. I really do appreciate that because everybody have a great, yes, Castle Cribs, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, you are very young. Nose to Quilts, thank you so much. Pictorial quilts. Pictorial quilts must live. That's really good. Ooh, pictorial quilts. What fun that would be. You know what? If I did men in quilting and then pictorial quilts, that could kind of balance it. Mom, if you have ideas for QuiltCon, you and I were going to do a QuiltCon lecture, maybe. Pitch a lecture about Quilter's Newsletter. I almost forgot. Okay, everybody. I will see you soon. Earth Girl Now, I'm so glad you caught the live. It was a crazy one. The soundboard is like my little sound kick. It's my sound kick. So it'll be back next week. It'll be back on Saturday. It's Thursday. Now it's technically Friday. And I'll see you all on Saturday at 11 p.m. my time. But check the schedule. Okay, I'm going to go rest. Bye, everybody. I'll see you soon, and take care and be safe, okay? Don't be unsafe. Okay, bye.